Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're doing another product review, and this is something I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, but because of COVID, lockdown restrictions, I wasn't able to. Now I figured everything's relaxing a little bit more, we can actually jump straight into this. We're in the woods, there's loads of midges around, but I figured this was a really good place to come out and discuss these products. Now I'm going to be giving a hands-on impression of them after we've had a little bit of a look at the specifications and what maybe makes them stand out from other products. So we have the Magicshine Monteer 8000S, which is I'm going to be using as a bar light, which mounts to the handlebars, and we also have the Magicshine Ulti 1000, which goes on my helmet. Let's have a little look at the 8000S. Now this light packs a mind-melting 8000 lumens of light thanks to 5 Cree LED light bulbs on the front of the light. Now it comes with a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, which will last for an hour and a half on full 8000 beam and will last for 32 hours on the eco mode, which is 400 lumens. This battery life varies quite a lot between all the different settings, as you can see from the chart, which I will put right here now. Now the Monteer 8000S comes with IPX5 waterproofing, which means it can stand up to 5 minutes of showering and is spray proof. Now I don't actually know if that means that it can stand up to torrential rain, like if you were riding say downhill or anything in pouring rain. I'd be interested to see, but I don't know. I couldn't really find out too much information about IPX proofing. I would imagine that because it says up to 5 minutes of showering, that should be okay. The battery itself has an inbuilt level indicator in it, which in daylight, obviously you're not going to be using it too much in daylight, but if you want to see the battery, you just pull back the dust shield or waterproofing shield and press the power button, and it will display the power level that you have left. And it's actually really nifty. It charges by USB-C, which means it's enabled for fast charging, but you can also put a USB adapter in there and use it as a power bank. So I could charge my GoPro batteries off it, and it obviously, because it offers fast charging, it means I can charge my phone off it using the fast charging mode on that as well, which is really cool. Now as you can see from these clips, mounting the light and battery to the frame, super straightforward. It comes with a Garmin style bar mount, which makes it super simple to just bolt straight onto the bars. They actually come with a gusset that goes around the bars like a spacer, and there's 38 and 32 mil. Now I actually managed to lose the 38 mil spacer for my bars when I was taking the lights off the bike. Now this is quite a pain, but I actually used an inner tube and cut that up, so I don't know if that's something you could use yourself if you ever lose this piece. And then the battery is very straightforward. It just uses straps to go straight onto the frame. I chose to use the top tube of my bike because the suspension setup's quite strange. And you'll see in this footage as well that I also wrapped the power cable from the battery around my bars and stem. And there's a reason for this, and you'll see in the test footage I got myself into quite a hairy, potentially hairy situation, so stick around for that because it's probably some good hands-on approach information for you guys. And as you would have seen from the battery life chart earlier, the Monteer 8000S has multiple settings, and we'll look at that now. I'm going to go to when it's dark because then we can see the different beam settings. So as I've mentioned, the Magicshine Monteer 8000S will be going on my handlebars. It's the brightest light, so it'll be going on the bars. And I've also got the Magicshine Ulti 1000. Now this will be going on my helmet, and this will be more of a directional light for when I'm going around corners and I need to see with my, obviously this one will be mounted to the bars, so that's fixed with the bike, but obviously you turn your head away from the bike a lot. This will be sort of a spotlight. Now the Ulti 1000 is 1000 lumens light, and it has 3 modes on it, including a daytime running light. 1, 2, 3. That's the full 1000 lumens. The light itself is an internal unit. The battery is integrated into the entire light, and it charges via USB, which is just on the bottom. And the battery has a runtime of up to 28.5 hours, and at 1000 lumens, the maximum is 1.8 hours. Similar to the Monteer 8000S, the Ulti is actually IPX7 rated waterproof. And from what I gather about it, Googling this, it's submergible for up to 30 minutes, which actually makes it more waterproof than the Monte Monte 8000S, but I suspect that is because this is an enclosed unit with the battery inside and everything, as opposed to the Monte 8000S, which has to be connected via a wire for the light to work. The light itself is manufactured from machined aluminium, and it has a really robust, solid feel to it. It just feels like a nice compact torch, really. And there's a variety of mounting methods. You can buy a helmet strap for it. You can buy a Garmin mount for it, which will also mount to the bars. You can use the mount that the Monte 8000S comes with. There's quite a lot of variety. I'll be using a GoPro mount because that's what I use. I would actually mount it on the front of my helmet like this, but obviously my GoPro goes there, so I've had to be a bit creative and use some GoPro angular mounts and make it on the side of the helmet. And this actually has a negative impact sometimes, as you'll see from the footage coming up in the hands-on experience. So now we've had a brief look at the specs of the light, we're going to jump straight in and get some hands-on review. I think it's really important. You could do the whole unboxing thing and you could get some really nice shots of it, but you guys, and I obviously, if I was watching a review like this, I would want the hands-on approach. So let's jump straight in. We're going to go to Forest of Dean, going to do some laps, wait for it to get dark, and then jump in head first, hit some downhill runs, really get some gnar going with these. So let's jump. Yo guys, so here we are at Forest of Dean. The sun is going down. You can actually see the moon. Don't know if you can see that on the GoPro, but the sun is setting, and basically what I'm doing is just getting a couple laps in to get myself used to the trails again. And then when it gets fully dark, we're going to go put the lights on and send it down the trails, and I'll just like feedback as I'm going down, because I'm a total noob to this. I have no idea what to expect. I'm so excited though, because it's going to be wicked. So let's just wait for it to get dark and hit some trails. I'm a little worried about what this one's going to be like in the dark, but let's have a look what it's like at the moment in the light. I say the light, but it's falling light, so woo. Oh yeah, it's definitely getting harder to see now. That's a proper compression, that is. Okay, so that's a couple of the warm-up laps done. Now we're going to load the lights on and cut to night time. Let's jump to it. So this is a great example of the beam on the Ulti 1000, which is the one I've got on my helmet. We've got the first mode, which is what I will be using to push up because it won't rinse its way through the battery. And then we've got mode number 2. I've got it mounted on the side of my helmet. Now I've started to notice there's a black spot here, which the main light will, the Monteer will definitely sort out, but that's just a little observation, because obviously this side of the helmet is blocking the beam. Then we have number 3. Now this is the full 1000 lumens, and it's actually super impressive. I think you could ride quite a bit of stuff with just this light. So now we have the Ulti on 1000 lumens, which is its max setting. Let's go into the Monteer, get that fired up. So we're in the 3rd mode, which means that you can go to the full 8000 lumens. We've already done this comparison, so it doesn't really matter that much, but that's the next setup, and that is the full 8000 lumens. I'm going to just aim it up ever so slightly, and that's a really good example. Hopefully it's getting really dark. We still got a slightly blue sky, the moon is super bright. I am so excited to see what these lights are capable of though, and share my initial thoughts with you guys. Okay, so first run we're going to hit Sheep Skull, which is a medium difficulty. It's a red 2 dot, I think, or just a 2 dot. I'm not sure how the grading works here, but it's super techy, super rooty. That's so sick already. It's a bit weird coming over the edge of features and there's like a black shadow. Woo! There's a big black shadow behind the roots and stuff. Oh, oh, dear, that's not good. So I must have pulled the battery cable out. Whoops. Don't know why that happened. Need to keep an eye on that, because you imagine how scary if you went off a drop and it did that. Doesn't bear thinking about really, does it? So what just happened, I think I wrapped the cable around here to try and keep it out of the way, and my trouser pulled it off. So it pulled the battery off and it pulled the cord out as well. So what I've done to fix it is just wrapped it round twice. Then there's a lot less slack in the line. So let's try that again. It's actually quite good that that happened, because if anything, it shows you what not to do as much as reviewing it. It's a real hands-on approach. Whew, feeling a lot faster already. Oh, it's very choppy, and the light, I was expecting a lot of bounce, and it's still bouncing a little bit, but nowhere near as much as I was expecting. And as I was saying before, the crazy thing is the roots. There's just big, whoa, there's big black shadows behind all the roots, because obviously the light can't hit that. Tell you what though, this is probably the most fun I've had on a bike in so long. Wow. I feel like I'm probably riding this the same as It's really weird, the roof's coming off the front wheel. Wow. A little bit speechless right now. The focus is real. Whew. I'm swearing I'm riding this faster than I was earlier, that it could just be the trees feel like they're passing me faster. Up. There's that Scandi. Oh, that was a little bit sketch. Wow. There you go, first full run with the Magicshine Monteer 8000S on the front and the Ulti 1000 on my helmet. That was absolutely insane. Look at all this rubbish. Absolutely shameful. Who are these people? I know I mentioned it quite a lot, but the roots and the features where you can normally see what's past them, you can't see that. All you see is black, which I think actually helps a little bit, because you can just wind it on. Like, I was going so flat out then, I can't tell if I'm going faster than I do in daylight, or if it's just an effect given by the fact that you can't see anything but this slight beam in front of you. But first impressions, absolutely mind-blowing. So that was a very successful first lap. So now we're going to do some jumps, and we're going to hit GBU, which is the harder downhill trail here. It's a 3 dot and it's got loads of jumps. We're going to do the top section just to see how it fares with jumps, because I'm thinking what it's going to be like. For example, you're looking at that mound there, you see the big black shadow behind it. Is that what it's going to be like when you hit a jump? You're going to be able to see the landing? Let's find out. Whoa, it's so strange.
Am I going too fast? Ooh! Okay, that's pretty fun without riding into trees. Whoa! Okay. You can definitely not see the landing in the slightest, but once you're over it, it doesn't really matter. Let's jump. Let's try and gap that. This is so much fun. I would even say that it is more fun than daytime. Wow. So it kind of confirmed my suspicions about black shadows behind jumps. Like, you can't see the landing, but no other light is going to be able to achieve that anyway. It's really interesting how different it is. Well, there's definitely an added level of sketchiness, and I bring enough sketchiness to the trails without doing it in the dark. It's lots of fun. We've still got full battery as well, so I've come over to ski run. Let's see how it fares. It's very techy, no jumps or anything, but I'm more trying to learn about the shadows behind roots and all that scary stuff. Ooh, two-wheel slide is very scary. I can't communicate how much fun it is. Let's get the bottom of ski run. I still jump up. That is something else.
So one thing I have noticed is that it's really hot. Now there is a warning on the box and on the light itself that it will get hot, but it's actually, you can feel it radiating off it, and you would not want to touch the front of that because it would probably actually burn you. It does smell kind of hot plasticky, but I don't know if that's just because it's brand new or if it could be slightly melting my cables. We have both lights at max beam, and the reason I'm doing them at max beam is because we've already done the comparison, and I think if I'm riding trails like this with all this gnar, I think the best policy is to use them to their maximum, and everyone's here to see the 8,000 lumens anyway, aren't they?
Let's do another run and then have a little bit more of a discussion about what I think of them. Go from there. Big table here. That's pretty cool that when you do a turn bar, you just turn the light completely away from where you want to look. Nah. Oh, a bit hot through there. Where am I going? I took the wrong line. Whew. I had proper front wheel slide over those routes then. Gonna be a bit of a learning curve. Oh, absolutely dark behind the drop. Yo, that was crazy.
So I want to give my final opinion on these lights, and I guess the main thing is, would I recommend them? Because I don't have loads of experience. I have no experience at all with bike lights, but I do have experience with these, and I have experience with what it's like to ride trails in the daytime and what it's now like to ride at nighttime. And I think I'm going to be reviewing more about what the experience was like using them. Now, one thing I did notice when I was riding, and I definitely mentioned this in the footage, was how hot the light got. Now, this isn't necessarily a criticism, more of a warning. The light itself has the warning on it already, so it's not like something Magicshine have been oblivious to, but I would just say it got so hot that you definitely would not want to touch the front of the light. And if you were to go on a super long ride and get back to the van and want to go home quick, you might chuck it into a bag. Be super cautious, because you could probably start a fire if you were to just chuck it straight into the bag and it touched some plastic or some clothes, or you would probably damage the light because you'd get plastic stuck to the front of it. So just keep an eye out for that, I would say. But overall, my opinion of the light is it's just transformed mountain biking for me, and it's extended my days, especially in the winter. I can't wait for when it gets dark at 4 o'clock, but I can carry on going for another hour and a half, or maybe even longer if I lessen the beam. And would I recommend the lights? I would 100% recommend them for the reasons that I've said. It's transformed riding, it's extended my days. I actually have so much fun. I'm actually really looking forward to the winter, believe it or not, when the sun goes down early at 4 o'clock and I can keep going for another hour and a half and get more laps in and more video. There's some real potential for videos here. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to do something a little bit different with this review, and I think although the other reviews are good where they show the beam pattern and how far it goes, it's not really a full-on hands-on approach, and I obviously ride downhill and jump, so I wanted to use it for this, and I hope you enjoyed that. There's a lot more videos like this coming, and of course, if you have a brand or a company or you have a product and you want it reviewed, then please send me a message on my Instagram and we can work out a review, because I really want to do more of these. And I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you aren't already, subscribe and hit the bell button, because that notifies you when I post a video and helps me out a huge amount. And I'll catch you again next time, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and shred on.